Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new match review here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's big 1-0 win over Northampton Town. That's right, pre-international break, Reading had defeated Cambridge by 4-0, and I sit here post-international break and I'm talking about a 1-0 win to Reading, this time over Northampton Town. Now, the win was quite vital as the teams around Reading in that relegation zone had actually won today. When you have a look at it, Cheltenham and Port Vale both picked up 3 points, so it was kind of important that Reading were able to get a result in this fixture when you look at it in hindsight. Now, the win has seen Reading climb up to 17th in the table, 45 points now from 40 games, with Port Vale and Cheltenham also winning now. The gap has continued to stay at 6 points, but we've climbed above Shrewsbury after they dropped points today. So Reading, creating a little bit more of a gap between them and the teams at the bottom of the table. But when you look at the goal difference of Reading, it really does astound me that they are in the position that they are. -1 goal difference. When you compare that to the teams around them, it's just really extraordinary that Reading are where they are. The strike force for Reading this season have been really good. Over the last 10 or so games, Reading defensively as well have been a lot more solid than they were, especially at the start of the season, but we're still there in terms of the most goals conceded by teams in the league. But listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. As long as we stay up, that is the main thing for me. Now, Reading decided to go with a starting 11 that was unchanged from the Cambridge fixture. Jarell Pereira continued to stay in goal as we saw Jarrell Dorset, Tyler Bindon, Amadou Mbenge and Clinton Mola play across the back four. Lewis Wing and Charlie Savage were the 2 central midfielders, with Harvey Nibbs playing in a more attacking midfielder position. Ben Elliott was out on the left wing with Femi Aziz on the right, and finally Sam Smith was the sole striker. Now, I thought Reading's game was going to be a lot easier than it was today, especially after that first 5 minutes. And when you saw Emmanuel Monte get booked after 4 minutes, I really thought that was going to be a weakness that Reading were going to exploit. Femi Aziz went down the right-hand side. He managed to beat his man, and Monte pulled him back, getting himself a yellow card in the process. But after that, he really did seem to recover and have a decent game at left-back. Not saying he was outstanding, and not saying that Femi Aziz didn't get by him almost every time, but Monte definitely recovered after that first funny 5-10 minutes. Going into the half-time break though, Reading arguably were lucky to go in drawing. Northampton had a couple of opportunities where Joel Pereira was required to make some big important saves. Now, the first time Reading played Northampton this season, it was the David Button horror show. 3 mistakes and 3 goals caused Northampton to win the game by 3-1. But today, Reading had a different goalkeeper in net, and Portuguese Joel Pereira was absolutely outstanding in this one. He made 2 really important saves in the space of a couple of minutes when he pushed one effort wide and then another one where he just got his fingertips when it looked like it was destined to go in the bottom corner. The second half saw a different type of approach though, as Northampton didn't really create any chances. The second half saw Reading definitely a lot more controlled, and that happened when Reading came out and really decided to, instead of just passing the ball through the defence, they started to play through the midfield a lot better as well. I feel like in the first half, Reading came out and almost looked Yapstam-esque. It was a lot of passing between the goalkeeper, the centre-backs and the left-backs, whereas I feel like Reading played a lot more through the midfield in that second half. There was a dodgy moment in that second half where almost Joel Pereira slipped on the ball and it kind of didn't really make a connection. Luckily, a Pere up front for Northampton wasn't able to capitalise on it, but Reading did managed to eventually get themselves in front. Substitute Kelvin Ehibhatiomhan was able to do some fantastic solo effort work down the left-hand side. He's managed to cut inside and beat his man. I don't know whether he nutsed him or not, but either way, he's then finessed the ball with absolute fantastic precision into the top right-hand corner, beating goalkeeper for Northampton. And yeah, it was a great goal to put Reading 1-0 up. That's 2 in the last 2 now for Ehibhatiomhan, who seems like he's a lot better coming off the bench compared to when he starts. When he starts, he seems to not really have that impact that he has when he comes off the bench, whereas, look, again, I thought it was pretty solid in this one. Northampton struggled to really create any chances in the second half. They didn't really make anything off the top of my head. I can't really think of anything that came about. They did have a corner which bounced around in the box that Joel Pereira though was able to collect it. Reading did have a couple more chances after that. Femi Aziz managed to hit the crossbar. That was from a corner. He then kind of the ball was recycled. He headed the ball onto the bar. Straight after was substituted for Paul McCarew. But Reading really didn't really have a fantastic performance, but were just okay on the day really, but managed to come away with the 3 points. And that's really what we want to see, especially for next season, where it's sort of even playing field once again, and it's a brand new fresh start for everybody. If Reading can go ahead and have performances like they have today and get wins, that's going to be very vital for Reading next year. Now, in terms of man of the matches, I've got to say a big shout out to Tyler Bindon and Amadou Mbenge. Once again, the centre-back partnership between these two is flourishing, and I thought that both of them were fantastic. Overall, though, in terms of man of the match, I've got to give it to goalkeeper Joel Pereira. Thought he was absolutely outstanding on the day, and look, he really did a good job. In terms of other players, I've got to say Clinton Mola, I thought had one of his best games in a Reading shirt. That first half performance by Mola, for me, arguably was his best in a Reading shirt. I thought he did really, really well to keep Sam Hoskins quiet. Sam Hoskins is the danger man for Northampton and one of the better players in League One. But he managed to keep him quiet for the majority of the game. So fair play to Clinton Mola. I've got to say the same for Jarrell Dorset on the left. Thought he played really well as well. I just thought overall Reading played decent. Look, the team... Let me change that. The team performance wasn't great, but individual performances were good. I thought attacking-wise, Reading could have done a little bit better, and I thought maybe, arguably, could have had a few more opportunities than what they did. But overall, defensively, I thought Reading were really, really solid. Now, that's going to be it for this one today. Look, we move on to Bolton on Monday. It's going to be definitely a difficult fixture. Not going to be one we're going to go in and expect to get 3 points out of, especially considering Reading's poor away record. But at the end of the day, with this Reading side, you never really know. Definitely in the top half of the table for the second half of the season. And yeah, look, I just think it's all about building momentum into next season now. Don't want to get ahead of myself and say that Reading are definitely going to be staying up. But for me, I think it's an almost certainty that Reading should be staying up at this point. That's going to be it for this one today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you in the next video soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.